I'm not standing up for it because I walked 10.8 miles today. I think it was, I'll send a picture for what the elevation gain and loss was today, but this is the stone that marks Dix Creek Gap, and I'm waiting to get picked up by my shuttle so I can go sleep in a real bed tonight. And that was worth the extra 3 miles after the shelter today. I want a Coke so bad.
I'm gonna go to Trail Full tomorrow and maybe get shoes, I don't know, or the next day, because my shoes, my feet, I've never hurt so bad.
Alright, we got our 0-day haul. I got a new wall brick. I got a Reese's Big Cup. I got the Starbucks I took a picture of. We got chicken strips, tenders from DQ. And of course, we got to get the mint Oreo ice cream.
You recording all that?
Yes, we're hauling. Alright, it's Wednesday, March 25th. I filmed a little bit of my 0 yesterday. Today I'm slack packing. I was dropped off at Blue Mountain, something like that, and I'm gonna be doing 6 miles slack pack Sobo back to Dix Creek and then stay at the hostel again tonight. I'm really struggling this morning, if I'm being honest. We couldn't get shuttled quite all the way up to this point, and so we had to do like a half-mile pretty steep incline up, and my Achilles on my right and my calf on my right foot is just screaming at me. So I did stop here. I was cold, so I've layered up, and I think warming up has helped. The sun is finally out and I'm sitting in it, so that's also helping. It was probably a combination of being sore and cold, but I got some Advil in me, and I'm gonna drink some electrolytes, and I've stretched and rolled. I've been rolling my calf with my trekking pole, so I'm gonna get going here in a minute, but it's been a little bit of a rough morning for me. All right, I'm moving again. Definitely feel a little bit warmer now, so that's good. It was Blue Ridge Gap, so we're going to 5.6 miles to Dix Creek, and then going to go back to the hostel. There's a couple things that the others need from town, and I needed something too, but I can't think of what it is off the top of my head at this moment. So I will be going into town too. I needed something from Walgreens. Don't remember what it was, but I cut my finger last night. So kind of funny story, not about cutting my finger, but I joined the Facebook group for hikers this year, and there's a girl named Carly on there, and I posted a few things, and I kind of liked her personality and stuff, and so we had been sort of pen pal writing each other. We'd added each other, and we're talking to each other in private messages since, like, I don't know, maybe January or something. And it turns out we actually been hiking together for a couple days, but she was supposed to start the day before me on my original start date, and then because I was delayed with work at the beginning, I'm thinking she's at least 5 days, maybe a week ahead of me, so I was probably never going to see her. Well, it turns out she was on trail, hurt her knee, and then she was laid up for 5 days, so we actually ended up on the trail together. And then she was talking last night, she was getting a shakedown at the hostel, and like I said, we've been kind of hiking around in the same group on the same miles for the last couple days, but it just didn't dawn on either of us that we were the people that we had been communicating with via Facebook, which is kind of silly, but it was kind of funny. So but she was getting her shakedown pack, and then I was checking out her Swiss Army knife, and I sliced a cut into my finger because I'm stupid, and I need to go to Walgreens and get some liquid Band-Aid because it's like right on the tip. It's right on the tip of my finger, and it took a while for it to stop bleeding, but it's more in an annoying place than a serious cut. It kind of starts on the tip of my finger and goes towards where, like, the corner of my nail. So I kind of want to get that sealed up before I get back on trail from the hostel, so that I can make sure that it stays like clean and dry. So I'll do the liquid Band-Aid, and I might even wrap it on top of that during the day. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It hurts right now, but it's not bleeding, and it'll heal. So not too worried about that. But that was kind of that was kind of a thing. And this morning I told her, I was like, you're Carly from Facebook. We've been messaging each other. And she goes, oh my God, you're totally right. And neither of us realized that we were each other. So it's just funny that we'd chit-chatted back and forth already so much and saw each other on trail but hadn't recognized each other yet. So I felt bad at first because I was like, oh my gosh, what if she recognized me and I didn't recognize her, and then she didn't say anything. But we both made the same mistake. So okay, so I'm going to keep continuing. I'm in a little bit better spirits. The pain, like when I'm starting out in the pain in the morning, it really takes like every ounce of my mental willpower and focus just to get through that warm-up phase when I'm not that sore. So but stopping, taking the Advil, stretching, and kind of rolling out the calf with my trekking pole helped a lot. So I'm gonna keep continuing. I got these 5 or 6 miles to do. It's more downhill than uphill overall, so hopefully it's not too crazy today, but I'm just really taking it slow on these days where I'm slack packing, because it would be actually nice to have more than one day to take like a 0 and rest. Just the amount of work that this puts on your body is kind of crazy, and it's unlike anything I've ever done. So I'm used to training my body with like weightlifting or even running or whatever, and you would work out and then maybe have a couple days to recover before you worked out again. You don't get that on the trail. So it's all active recovery, and that's just not something that I'm very familiar with. And it's not like I'm going to take a quick walk because I did 11 miles. It's like, no, I need to do another 6 today, even though I did 11 miles a couple days ago. So it's really more than active recovery, but that's what I guess I would call it, since I'm not resting. And then I'm also going to make sure when I get back to the hostel tonight that I do ice. I did not do ice yesterday. I really need to like ice bath my everything from like the knees down, I think, and let that cool and get the inflammation down, because I think most of the reason I'm in the pain that I'm in is because of inflammation. I actually have been doing okay with like heart rate and stuff, like the endurance side of the exercise, but I have to stop because the pain gets unbearable, and then I have to wait for kind of my legs to recover and the pain to subside. So that's where I am, in better spirits, but just working through it. I really want to make it out of Georgia, and we should do that tomorrow. So only a few miles after today to get out of Georgia, and it'll feel good to hit my first state milestone. I definitely I've had several moments already where I didn't feel like I was going to even make it out of Georgia, but that's kind of the emotional roller coaster you go through when you're doing this trail. And you haven't done like a through hike or a long distance trail before. I mean, even I think those people probably have moments where it's really hard for them to want to continue. So I hope it's a relatable experience that I'm sharing here, and not too concerning for anybody. I will be able to push through it. It's just hard in the moment, and then it's hard to want to pick up my phone and film during those moments, because I'm putting so much effort into staying focused and continue to put one foot in front of the other. So, but I do want to make sure I'm sharing some of this, because it's the part of the trail that's not the romantic park that we see on Instagram and things like that. And I think it's important to share the reality of what doing something like this puts you through when you decide to do it. Okay, enough talking. Gotta keep my feet moving. All right, I'm back. I'm at co-workout now. Just past the sign back there, and taking a quick sit break, eating a snack. I debated continue just walking while I ate this, but honestly, it's not been a good day for me. So I've just been really struggling with pain. I clearly pushed myself too hard a couple days ago, and I think that's causing me to have more pain than I've had even on a regular basis, like on a daily basis, which has already been pretty bad. So the pain's mostly in my Achilles and my calves, although today I have shin splints for the first time. I haven't really had any shin splints at all. Even during training, I really didn't have shin splints. So I think I was taking the downhills a couple days ago too hard. So it's just a reminder to go slow. I really didn't need to push that hard. It would have been better for me to do a shorter day and then do a Nero yesterday so that I wasn't taxing my system so much, but it's just tricky. It's hard to know, because when you're moving, you're warm and you've got the endorphins going, especially at the end of a longer day. You've run your body to the point where it's hard to tell if you're pushing yourself too hard. So I'm kind of learning my lesson here, for sure. And I know I need to be a lot more careful with giving myself more space to recover, or else I'm gonna run myself into the ground. So it's a really beautiful day, though. Honestly, it's been so gorgeous, and I don't have a really great view right now, but a lot of the walking today has been on trails on a ridge where I could see mountains in the distance, and that's been really helpful to be able to experience that and have that to at least distract me a little from how horrible I feel. So when I get back to the hostel today, I need to go to Walgreens to get liquid Band-Aid for my finger. I might also pop over to Ingles and get myself something for dinner. And then honestly, probably just might kind of lay down and keep to myself tonight and go to bed early, because it's been a very social last couple of days. Okay, today is Thursday, March 26th. I did finish the 6 miles of slack packing yesterday, but it was pretty brutal the whole time. I came back and did some icing on my calves yesterday, and took some rounds of ibuprofen. I feel pretty good this morning, but I kind of don't know exactly how bad I'm going to feel until I get on the trail and I'm doing some uphills. I got some really bad news last night. My husband and I have 2 cats, and one of them passed away. And this is like my husband's baby. He's an extremely sweet and affectionate cat, and is constantly wanting cuddles from us. We've had him for about 6 years, and it was very distressing for both of us. He had a heart attack, so it wasn't anything too painful, but was unexpected, and basically my husband just found him at home. So my mom was able to go and be with him since I can't be there, but it's been hard. I looked at options for trying to get home for a couple days just to be there as a source of comfort, but Sean does want me to continue, so I am going to get back on the trail today, but this just feels even harder after how hard yesterday was. I was just struggling so badly through the trail, and then to have this on top of it. You know, when I left, we said, all right, none of the animals can get sick while I'm gone, because we knew that would be kind of like a worst case scenario for both of us. Our dog is 12, so he's older, and we have the 2 cats, and we knew Mushnick had a heart murmur, so we knew at any time he could have a heart attack. So we kind of knew that this might happen, but he was only 6 and hadn't shown any signs of having any issues, so I don't know. It just hurts that I can't be home right now. And I had a bunch of chores last night that I should have gotten done so that I would be ready this morning, and that kind of got blown out of the water, so I got up this morning. I've eaten something. I didn't really feel like eating, but I ate something, and then did my laundry because I didn't get to do that last night after slack packing. All my stuff's pretty much packed up. I have a box of like 12 to 14 days of food, because the 2 resupply boxes that were sent here, I basically didn't need most of it. So I'm bouncing all of that food forward to not Fontana Dam, but a little bit before that, so that I can resupply out of it there. And then I have a smaller envelope of stuff that I'm sending home out of my pack, just to continue to try and bring some weight out of my pack. The only things right now in my pack that I think I might also be able to get rid of is I have 2 pairs of merino base layers. I have one that's a 170, and I wear those under my hiking pants. They're ones that can get cold and wet, or ones that can get wet. And then I have a sleep pair that's a 250 weight. I debated just going down to 1 set, because honestly I don't even need to sleep with merino leggings, like the base layers on in most cases, because my sleeping bag is warm enough, and then with the down booties my feet stay warm. It's just been, I was in the middle of making decisions about what to keep and what not to when Sean called me last night, and it's awful. I did let him know I'm doing this next stretch is 4 days it's 35 4 miles to Franklin. So I will probably need 4 days to do that. So I do have 4 days of food packed. This just sucks. It's gonna be a rough day. I don't know how much I'm gonna film today, but you know, these things happen. I remember watching like Dixie's AT through hike, and her dog passed away while she was on trail and trying to get home and rent a car in time and be able to be there was part of her experience too. So I know this is something that people have, family and life events and things like that happen on trail, and not all of them are happy ones that they have to try and deal with and stay the course and continue to do miles. It's gonna be tough. So I do have a little bit extra food beyond. I think I have like an extra meal and a half or something if it takes me a little bit longer. I don't know if I'm gonna have the mental willpower to continue to push myself for the next day or two. I just want to get on trail and be able to be with my thoughts and grieve without feeling like I'm pushing myself. So, and then hopefully maybe by giving myself some time mentally, I'm also letting my body heal physically, since yesterday was really tough physically due to the soreness that I had. So that's where I am this morning. It's not a great update, but it's a very real update. So and then I guess the only other thing to mention is today is the day that I leave Georgia. So I have 3 miles left till I get to North Carolina. I am really excited about that, and I was really looking forward to that. We slack packed Sobo yesterday, so we were like 3 miles from the border, and I was just feeling that pull when you're only 3 miles away to like want to just close that gap. And I'm like really proud of myself for getting this far in this process and continuing to push through it, but I'm also very sad today. So this is emotionally just quite a quite a bit to have to deal with. So okay, I'm gonna finish getting ready. I think I heard my laundry just finished, so I'm gonna get dressed in my hiking clothes and gather myself up here. Oh my God. I'm done with George. This has been so hard. It's been such a hard day. I finally stopped crying. This has been just a crazy day. The ups and the downs are just insane. So many emotions. North Carolina, home state. Alright, good morning. It is, it is the next day. It's late. It's about 7:40. Yesterday was just so hard. It's Friday the 27th that I ended up like kind of falling asleep around 9:30 last night, and then just I normally do a routine. I like wipe my body down and I kind of get all my stuff organized in here, and I could barely I didn't even plug my phone in to charge because I was so tired. So clearly I needed the sleep, but woke up this morning, I'm feeling kind of stiff like I normally do. I'm gonna do some massage ball work with my calves, and kind of do the things last night that I didn't do. So I've already cleaned my body. I haven't gotten out of my tent yet. I need to go do that. But just kind of getting myself together slowly today, and then I'm just gonna do however many miles I think I can. I think the next shelter's 8 away. I'll have to check, but that might end up being too much today. I'm just gonna hike to where I feel comfortable, slash hike until like 3 today. So it might only be like, actually the next shelter is only 5 miles away now that I think about it. I know the answer to that, so that's probably where I'll end up. I don't want to do any big miles today. I just don't have it in me physically, mentally. It's been just a really tough couple days, so I'm gonna give my body a break, get into camp early, eat early, give myself time to just take care of myself and feel as comfortable as possible. The only thing that's really like pushing me to kind of like continue to go faster at any point here over the next few days is the amount of food that I have. But I know that there's lots of people on trail with me right now, and they probably have extra food if I needed it. So I'm not feeling like unsafe in taking more time. Alright, well, I probably need to stop recording and get on with it, but this has been my whole morning, it's me procrastinating. So sometimes you need to procrastinate. Sometimes you need that balance. You can't be up at 5 a.m. every morning. So I will check in with you guys later. Okay, I haven't done an update since this morning, but it's been a little bit eventful, and I didn't want to honestly take my phone out. I didn't even really think about it. Shortly after getting started hiking this morning, I woke up and I ate a big breakfast and drank some water, had some electrolytes, and I got like maybe a couple miles down the trail and was feeling so lightheaded, just really, really tired, and like so tired that when I stopped to take a break on the side of the trail, that I was nodding off. So yeah, I got to the first place. Fortunately, I had full water at this point. I got to the first like flat, like kind of campground space, past the shelter, or past the point where I was then, and set up my tent, and blew up my sleeping pad and laid down and napped. After kind of sitting there, I also realized I'm not really sweating and the temperature was starting to go up. And so I kind of, through process elimination, realized it's probably not blood sugar. It's not like eating, although that probably wouldn't hurt. And I'd had some electrolytes pretty quickly, and that didn't seem to help either. So I was like, this is probably just dehydration. Like my nose wasn't running like it constantly is, that kind of thing. So I kind of quickly realized this could get really bad if I didn't handle it. I did not have cell service, so I was messaging Sean just to ask, you know, what's the best way to handle it. I didn't want to flood my system with too much liquid, like too much water all at once, because I know that can also cause issues if you like do that. So he gave me some advice on how to rehydrate using the 2 liters of water that I had. So I did that. Between drinking bits of water, I napped. I started to feel a little bit better. Like my hands had been like super swollen up, and I noticed that they weren't as puffy anymore, and stuff like that. And I was starting to feel a little bit more cognizant. And so I packed up because I'd already drank through the 2 liters of water that I had. I did not have water near me without going like 2 miles back to the shelter. But there was a spring 0.3 ahead and some other water sources like within 1.5 miles ahead of me. And so I've been very carefully working my way down the trail. I am sweating again, which is a good sign. I don't feel as lightheaded. I feel tired. My muscles definitely still feel fatigued, but not as badly as before. So I think I kind of got myself out of the danger zone, but I'm still dehydrated. So I haven't reached the water source that was at 0.3 was so dry that I couldn't really pull anything from it. So I haven't been able to get more water. But then somebody passed me and said that there is Trail Magic at Deep Gap, which is only about 2 miles ahead of me at that point in time. And Deep Gap Road, according to like sources online, is supposed to be closed until April 1st. So Sean and I had actually talked last night because I've just been struggling so bad, and with this whole thing with Mushnick passing away, we talked about maybe trying to connect this weekend and, you know, spend a night together somewhere, just to be able to have each other's company for a little while. And Deep Gap Road is closed, which is the best way to really have picked me up. So don't really know what the plans are at the moment. I've got like a few different options. My goal right now is to get to Deep Gap. I should have less than 1 mile to get there now, so I will make it there alive. I was only going to go to Standing Indian, which is I think like another mile or 1.5 miles past that. I might, because I had this like scare this morning, sleep at Deep Gap with the people doing Trail Magic. That way I have access to them and their cars if needed. I'm sure someone would give me a ride if I really needed something. And then also they have, you know, real food, not trail food, and fluids accessible to me, so I can kind of nurse myself back to feeling 100%. So that's my current plan, is to camp at Deep Gap. It's like 3 o'clock right now. I didn't leave camp until like 9:30, and then had to stop for a couple hours because of this whole dehydration thing. And then I've been moving slow even when I have been moving, and like stopping and pausing in shaded areas trying to keep from overexerting myself, keep my heart rate low, kind of monitor how I'm feeling. I fell, so I have a nice scrape now. Nothing permanent, no permanent damage from that, but that was a full going downhill. I stepped on a rock that was loose and just fell forward, and that's the only real damage. I'll probably have some bruises. My hands got kind of beat up a little bit, but didn't break the skin. So I feel like this trail's trying to kill me. That sounds so dramatic, but between the pain that I've been in and the dehydration today and the fall and just the struggles that I've been having for the last week or so, I really was feeling confident that when I got my digestion issues worked out, that I was going to feel so much better, because I did. I felt like hydrated and I felt like I had more energy. And then to have Mushnik pass away and to be going through all this stuff in the last like 24 to 48 hours, it's just been a lot. And another option that we had looked into, if Deep Gap was open, was Sean coming and picking me up tonight or tomorrow. It's really too late for him to pick me up today if the road is open, but I'm going to confirm when I get there if the road is open, and he might come pick me up tomorrow and have me spend the night somewhere with him. So we'll see. I'm mostly just really trying to take it easy. Most people, pretty much everybody at the shelter I stayed at last night, was going to do 12 miles today because the elevation was not super hard. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do 12, so I aimed for Standing Indian, which was like 4 to 5 miles ahead of me. That's really nothing as far as miles for what I should be hitting, but it was what I felt like I could do to keep moving forward. Without knowing Deep Gap is open, the next place to really get off trail is Mooney, and that was 17 miles ahead of me. So I, despite being miserable, felt like I needed to continue to try and get some kind of mileage in without putting myself in danger. So not the best update, but the weather has actually been pretty nice. I have been fortunate that it is not raining. It is sunny. It's a little warm, but not crazy. It's warmer. It started getting warm around like noon-ish, 11 to noon today. But I've been fortunate in that, and I took some pictures yesterday. I got to take some pictures of the sunset and of that tree, that cool looking tree that you see right after crossing into the North Carolina border as you're going up the first mountain. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it on the video here if I can figure it out, or if it has a name. But yeah, I'm really just trying to get to Deep Gap at this point. And then maybe see what kind of assistance I can get, or I had thought that it would be nice if Sean had picked me up to be able to go stay in Franklin, which is about 40 minutes away from here, from Deep Gap pickup, so that I could go get different shoes. I think these shoes are either not working in general or at the end of their life. And that's contributing to why my calves aren't feeling as good. I don't think they're too small. If anything, they're too big right now. They're not squeezing me. I don't get blisters in them, but definitely been struggling. With, sorry, there's this thumping that happens in the woods sometimes, and it must be like some kind of animal or something, but I don't know what it is. It kind of sounds like a helicopter taking off. It's like boom, 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 boom. I don't even know if my phone picked it up. Maybe it did. But yeah, it's been a long 48 hours since I got back on trail. It hasn't even been 48 hours, it's been like 24 hours, but just slack packing the day before was hard. So it's kind of been a long 48 hours on the trail. And see, here's a water source, but I'm really, really close to deep gap, so I might just keep pushing. Probably should get some kind of water here and drink something. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. So that's my update for this afternoon. I wish I was in a better mood. I wish I was more upbeat, because there's actually a lot on this trail to be thankful for, and I'm learning a lot of important lessons, but learning them the hard way. And it's been a thing. It hasn't left me in a great mood or wanting to film, so I'll update you guys again later. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I ended at Standing Indian Shelter, which was only 5 miles or so total. I was able to kind of rehydrate myself and feel a lot better in the later half of the day today. The trail magic also helped to get some more calories in, and they also had water, so I'm about to go to sleep here. It's supposed to be pretty cold. It's supposed to get down to like 30 tonight, so I am going to be sleeping with my filter and my phone and my battery, but still really sore. But I kind of plotted out I only have really 2 more days of hiking before I get to Franklin, and I figured out what those 2 shelters would be. So sorry this video is dark, and this week's video might be a little bit shorter, given I've been struggling to balance just getting through the trail, and while also trying to capture it. So thank you guys for your patience, and I'm planning to try and get a really good night's rest tonight and do 7 miles tomorrow. I think I can do it. The terrain should be pretty relatively easy to do, and as long as I stay hydrated, I think it's just dealing with the pain, which is, I can deal with one. If I can just have one issue that I have to focus on, then I think I'll be okay. I can mentally work through the pain if I'm not feeling super lightheaded. So I did get a chance to talk with Sean several times over the last couple days, and that's helped a lot with being able to kind of process what's happened with Mushnik and check in with each other. Use my phone a little bit more than I probably should because of that, but it's something that's just been something we needed. We don't normally spend any time away from each other, really. We're together all the time at home, so trying to figure out how to navigate this like life event away from each other has been a little tricky, especially with me having limited service. But Sean's done a really good job of, my mom came over and was there to help comfort him, and he's been reaching out to friends, and set up an extra session this week, impromptu, with his therapist to help him kind of process and cope through things. So I feel a lot less anxious about and worried about him in this, with all this going on. So that's helped me kind of also refocus my attention on just trying to get through the day and focus on the trail. So I am going to close here, but good night, everybody. Good night from the trail. Good night from Standing Indian. Super happy that I was able to get into North Carolina yesterday, and it's nice to be back in my home state.